Hello friends, welcome to Math Time with Mrs. Idas. Today we are going to have a special fun project. We're going to make a little groundhog popping up out of his little burrow for Groundhog Day. But before we begin, I would like to read you a cute little story called Go to Sleep, Groundhog by Judy Cox and illustrated by Paul Masel. Go to sleep, Groundhog. Groundhog went to bed on Columbus Day just like he always did. He brushed his teeth. He put on his jammies. He set his clock for February 2nd. Then he curled up in his warm, cozy bed. He closed his eyes. He tossed and turned, but he couldn't get to sleep. Finally, he got out of bed. He peered at his clock. 1/2 October. Groundhog poked his nose outside his burrow. The moon was full. I'll just go for a little walk, he said. Maybe that will make me sleepy. Groundhog went outside. He saw things he had never seen before. Raggedy scarecrows, grinning jack-o'-lanterns, children dressed up like pirates, cowboys, and princesses. What day is this, friends? Halloween! Halloween witch flew down. What are you doing up, she said. It's almost winter. You should be in bed. Witch flew Groundhog home on her broomstick. She tucked him in. She read him a ghost story. She gave him a glass of apple cider. Groundhog curled up in his cozy, warm bed. He closed his eyes. He tossed and turned, but he couldn't get to sleep. Finally, he got out of bed. He peered at his clock. 1/2 November. He poked his nose outside his burrow. The leaves were red and yellow. I'll just go for a little walk, he said. Maybe that will make me sleepy. Groundhog went outside. He saw things he'd never seen before. Tall yellow corn shocks and round orange pumpkins, turkeys gobbling in the barnyard. What holiday is this now, friends? Thanksgiving. What are you doing up? Turkey said. It's almost winter. You should be in bed, and I should be making myself scarce. Turkey took Groundhog home. He tucked him in. He read him a story about pilgrims. He gave him a slice of pumpkin pie. Groundhog curled up in his warm, cozy bed. He closed his eyes. He tossed and turned, but he couldn't get to sleep. Finally, he got out of bed. He peered at his clock. 1/2 December. Groundhog poked his nose outside his burrow. Stars twinkled overhead. I'll just go for a little walk, he said. Maybe that will make me sleepy. Groundhog went outside. He saw things he had never seen before. Colored lights glowing on some houses, candles shining in windows, holly wreaths hanging on doors. He heard sleigh bells chiming in the air. What holiday is this now, friends? Christmas! Santa flew down in his sleigh. What are you doing up? Santa said. It's winter. You should be in bed. Santa took Groundhog home in his sleigh. He tucked him in. He read him a Christmas story. He gave him a glass of milk and a cookie. Groundhog curled up in his warm, cozy bed. He closed his eyes. He didn't toss and he didn't turn, and soon he fell asleep. Bring! Groundhog opened one eye. It can't be time to get up yet, he grumbled. I just got to sleep. Bring! He peered at his clock. February 2nd. Groundhog yawned and stretched. He tumbled out of his burrow. Snow glittered on the ground. The sun was out. The sky was blue. Groundhog saw his shadow. What am I doing up, he said. There are 6 more weeks of winter coming. I should be in bed. See, there's Groundhog's shadow. 6 more weeks of winter. He hurried back inside. He ate a bedtime snack. He read himself a bedtime story. Then he tucked himself into his warm, cozy bed, and he pulled up the covers. closed his eyes, and went to sleep. The end. Isn't that a cute story, friends? So let's go ahead and get ready to do our cute little project. Today, you're going to need construction paper, this green strip that we put in your toolkit, the little groundhog. You're going to need your popsicle stick, and you will also need your scissors and your glue stick and your crayons. Scissors, glue stick, and crayons. So here's the first step, what we're going to do. First is the easiest step of all. We're going to fold our green piece of construction paper like this, just in half, almost like it's a book, just like so, okay? Then you're going to get your brown crayon, and you're going to get your groundhog and put a little bit of brown dashes, like fur. Groundhogs are mammals, they're warm-blooded, they have fur. So we're gonna put some fur on the back of the groundhog and fur on the front. Very good. Here's our little furry groundhog. So cute. Now, if you have a white crayon, you can even color his little teeth with white and a little bit of yellow, because they have a substance on their teeth that makes their teeth strong, because they like to chip at things and bite things, and it makes their enamel strong. So here's our little groundhog. Now, we're going to cut around the whole shape of the groundhog. All right, thumbs up cut, open, shut them. And you're going to do a close cut on the dark line that goes all the way around the groundhog. You might be saying, a groundhog, but it looks like two. Well, that's because we're going to fold this groundhog in a little while. So be careful to cut up and around. Don't cut the middle of the front and the back of the groundhog. That's a folding line, not a cutting line. Okay, friends? So just cut all the way around groundhog. If the video is going quickly for you, you can always pause and finish cutting your groundhog out and then push play again. All right, friends, so here's our little groundhog. Now, we have a popsicle stick and we have our glue stick as well. That's because the next piece of this project is going to be to fold our groundhog in half on that little folded dashed line. Press it closed. So now you have a front and a back of your groundhog. Go ahead and open up your groundhog like a little card, like a little book. And now we're going to get our glue stick ready and our popsicle stick. So you're going to put some glue here on the popsicle stick and on the back of the popsicle stick as well. All right, some glue. Excellent. Now, go ahead and put the popsicle stick here inside of your groundhog. So one side is glued there, and when you fold it back over, the glue will also be on the other side of the popsicle stick. So press it down, hold it down. If you'd like to put a little bit more glue here inside, behind the head, you may do so. Put a little bit of glue, little dot, and press it down. Let's count to 10 to make sure it's really sticking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now we have our little groundhog on the stick. Ta-da! We need to make the groundhog's burrow, all right? So the fold is actually the bottom part of this project, and the open part is the top. So the groundhog will either see his shadow on February 2nd or he won't. If he does see his shadow, that means 6 more weeks of winter. And if he doesn't, that means spring will come early. So one side of the green burrow will be blank, and the other side of the burrow will have groundhog shadow. So to make Groundhog's shadow, we have to pretend he's behind and then up and over looking down, okay? Because the way the sun reflects, the shadow doesn't look upright. It looks upside down. So turn your little groundhog upside down with the open part of your green at the top. Then use a black crayon and carefully trace around the shape of your groundhog like this. All right, with the black crayon, just like so. Okay, friends, just like that. And now when you lift up your groundhog, you're going to see the groundhog shape. So with the black crayon, we're going to shade it in so it looks more like a shadow. All right, shade it in just like that. Good job. Shadows are kind of light and mysterious. All right, there's a shadow. Now, how are we going to turn this paper into a burrow? Well, it needs to look like grass on the top, doesn't it, friends? So here we're going to add some little snips. This part of the paper that opens is going to get little snips, like little grass snips, even over the shadow, just like this. Excellent. So the groundhog is going to have to pop up out of the burrow like this. But how are we going to help him pop up? Here's the fun part. So down here at the fold, friends, is where we're going to make a curved shape cut. If you want to draw a curved line first, you can do that. So maybe make a finger space here and curve all the way over to the next finger space. Just like a little curvy hill, like that. Now you know where you're going to cut. So keep it folded, keep your paper folded, and you're going to cut on the curvy part that you just drew. There we go, cut that little curve out. Now you'll be able to put the little popsicle stick here and help your groundhog pop open, up and down, okay? So let's go ahead and glue the sides of our paper. So let's put a stripe of glue here and a stripe of glue here. This way we're making kind of like a little pocket for our groundhog. Now close it up, press down the sides like so, okay? And now we can even curl down the grass because now you have like a little pocket. So you can kind of just gently fold the grass over. You can put your finger here and press it against your finger so it looks kind of like the grass is blowing in the wind. You can do it on that side. Put your hand here, turn it around, and you can do the same on the other side. So the side without a shadow means spring is coming early, 6 weeks. And the side with the shadow means we're going to have 6 more weeks of winter. Okay, there's our burrow. It's ready. Let's put our little groundhog inside. So if Mr. Groundhog pops up and sees his shadow, we will have 6 more weeks of winter. But if our groundhog pops up and does not see a shadow, then spring will be 6 weeks early. I sure hope you had fun making our little pop-up groundhog. I sure did. Happy Groundhog's Day, friends. See you tomorrow.